All right, today we're diving into a core part of yoga philosophy that has pretty much nothing to do with bending yourself into a pretzel. We're talking about a set of 5 ethical principles known as the Yamas. And honestly, they might just be the most powerful part of the entire practice.
I mean, just think about that for a second. We almost always connect yoga with the physical postures, right? But what if its real power, its true magic, lies in a set of principles that shape how we live our day-to-day lives? Well, that's exactly what the Yamas are all about. See, this is because yoga, when you get right down to it, is a really profound philosophical system designed to guide us through life. So we're about to explore its absolute foundation, a set of ethical principles that work kind of like a moral compass.
So the way classical yoga philosophy is structured is in 8 distinct stages. You'll often hear them called the 8 limbs, and we're starting right at the very beginning, with the absolute first step on this path.
And that first step is the Yamas. Yep, before you even get to breathing exercises or poses, the tradition says you start right here. The Yamas are all about our relationship with the world outside of ourselves, how our actions, our words, and even our thoughts affect other people.
Now, it's really important to get the framing on this right. These aren't meant to be rigid, restrictive commandments you have to follow or else. It's much better to think of them as a compass. They just give you a direction, helping you navigate your interactions with a bit more integrity and awareness. And here they are, the 5 Yamas that make up this compass. We've got Ahimsa, which is non-harming, Satya, or truthfulness. Then there's Asteya, which means non-stealing, Brahmacharya, the right use of our energy, and finally Aparigraha, or non-possessiveness. Let's break these down one by one.
So our journey starts with Ahimsa. This first Yama is hands down considered the cornerstone of the whole ethical system. I mean, it is the foundation that all the others are built on. What's so crucial to grasp here is that Ahimsa goes so much deeper than just physical violence. It's a commitment to non-harming in everything, our actions, our words, and yeah, even our thoughts. Think about a passive-aggressive comment you make at work, or maybe a harsh tweet online. Ahimsa asks us to consider the harm in those things too. It's really about cultivating this fundamental sense of compassion in all of our interactions. So, following pretty naturally from a place of non-harming is our second Yama, Satya. It makes sense, right? After all, being dishonest is a form of harm, both to others and to ourselves. So let's explore what it really means to practice truthfulness in our pretty complex world. Satya is the practice of living and speaking your truth. It's about aligning what you say and do with what's actually real. And this isn't just about not telling big lies. It's about being authentic. In our digital age, this could mean representing yourself honestly online, or having the courage to speak up with clarity and integrity, even when it's really difficult.
Our third Yama is Asteya, or non-stealing. And just like Ahimsa, this idea goes way beyond its most literal meaning. It's not just about not taking physical stuff. It challenges us to look at all the subtler ways we might be taking.
Asteya asks us to think about all the ways we might take what isn't freely offered. This could be someone's time in a meeting that you just dominate. It could be their energy, their trust, or even their ideas without giving them credit. In a modern context, it could even mean illegally downloading a movie or using your neighbor's Wi-Fi without asking. Practicing Asteya really means respecting the resources and boundaries of other people and cultivating a sense of generosity.
Okay, this brings us to our final 2 Yamas. Now, these are interesting because unlike the first 3, which really focus on our interactions with others, these next 2 turn the focus inward. They're all about managing our internal landscape, our energy, our desires, and our attachments.
And here we can see the distinction pretty clearly. Brahmacharya is about directing our vital energy wisely. So think of it as channeling your attention away from mindless distractions, like endless social media scrolling, and putting it toward things that actually nourish you. It's about moderation. Aparigraha, on the other hand, is about non-possessiveness, learning to let go of our need to grasp and control everything.
Let's look a little closer at Aparigraha, this art of letting go. It's the practice of taking only what we truly need and releasing our attachment to things, to specific outcomes, even to our own identities. It's about cultivating a feeling of inner completeness so we aren't constantly looking for it from the outside world through greed or grasping.
So after going through all 5 of these ancient principles, we come back to the big question. Why does any of this matter in our busy modern lives? What's the real takeaway here?
The key thing to remember is that the yamas give us a practical framework for self-reflection. They aren't external rules someone is imposing on us, but internal guides. They're an invitation to consciously look at how we show up in the world and how our presence impacts everyone and everything around us.
And this quote from our source material really just says it all. The yamas are fundamentally relational. They are codes of restraint that help us build healthier, more conscious, and way more compassionate connections with the world and all the people in it.
So I'll leave you with this question to just reflect on. When you look at non-harming, truthfulness, non-stealing, wise use of energy, and non-possessiveness, which one of those, if you just focused on it a little more, could bring a greater sense of peace and integrity to your life?